Hello guys, so bang on time. I'm not early, I'm not late, but I'm actually here roughly around the right time, which is quite good for me. Sorry, I look a bit of a mess. It's very hot. I'm at home and it's like 30 degrees. I do not have air conditioning. If you live in the UK, then a lot of people don't. I definitely don't. And it is just silly hot. So, today, I wanted to start talking about weight loss for cyclists weight loss for cyclists and if it's a good thing. And that's a really interesting question, and you're going to find out why. So, when I first got into cycling, it wasn't necessarily to lose weight, it's just because it was something I wanted to do, really. But I get asked a lot by clients, PT wise, and other people like that if cycling is good for losing weight. And I think there's a yes to the answer, and I also think there's a no to the answer. So, is cycling good for weight loss? I think, talking from a professional point of view, from a personal trainer, I think cycling is good for weight loss, but only initially. And I know you're going to think that's a bit of a crazy thing to say, and this is just my opinion. There's not a medical opinion behind this, but initially, yes. When you start cycling, it's a bit of a shock to the body. It's very new. All these kind of like calories are coming out your system. You're losing weight, and it's kind of a bit of a crazy time where you just think, oh, I've lost so much weight. But that journey is kind of shortly lived. You know, for me, it would only lasted about a year, and then I started just to maintain that weight. And you'll find that your body's an amazing thing. It'll adapt. So the more you start cycling, the more it'll adapt to how much you're cycling. So just say you're doing 3 hours a week, yeah, whoo, benefit, calorie deficit, and all this. But then you get used to that, and your body adapts. Your body understands. Oh, it's happening every week. You know, I'm going to stay a little bit hungrier. I'm going to do a little bit more, and then you have to do 4, then 5 hours, then 6 hours, then 7, then 8. Then you're at a point where you're a couple of years down the line, and your body isn't really tolerating the cycling anymore. It's just giving you more of an appetite, and that's a struggle I found. So I track my calories quite a lot, so I know kind of roughly where I'm at, so I know if I'm gaining weight, losing weight. And for obviously having this thyroid issue, it helps to track my calories because it just mentally helps me a lot to kind of understand where I am. So like I said, your body gets very smart to, cycling. I think in the long term, like I'm at a point now, so I'm going to talk about my last 7 years. So I'm actually at a point now. So from year one, I lost weight cycling. Year two, like I got to the point of maintenance, and I've pretty much been there ever since. Unless I'm doing something really drastic, like a race, then I'll lose weight cycling now. But because my body's so used to, the 20 hours a week that it normally gets, it's just got to the point where I just have more of an appetite. If I was to just eat less, then I probably would get away with losing some weight, but my body doesn't want that. I'm going hungry, and I don't like going hungry, and it just tends to not release the energy from food after a while, if that makes sense. So short term, I think cycling's great for weight loss, but I think for sustainability, it's good to keep the weight off as well. But if you're trying to lose weight cycling, I will tell you now, and this is probably an uncommon opinion from a lot of people, I'll tell you now, the first few years, you will lose drastic amounts of cycling, but it'll slow down. Your body will adapt, it'll get used to it, it'll learn how to conserve its energy, and it will learn how to make you much more hungry. And understand that, like, my appetite is huge. Like, I can track my calories, and it's crazy. My body knows when I'm doing 20 hours a week, it will get that food, eventually in the system. It will make me hungry enough to get that food. So it's very difficult for me to diet. And if I don't put that food in that my body's requesting, then it won't release the energy for my next training session. And I find this, and, a lot of people call me crazy in saying that. But no, my body knows how to make me starve, and it knows how to make me eat because it's got so used to this ongoing amount of 20 hours a week cycling, 30 hours a week cycling. So yeah, in the long term for me, I struggle to lose weight. Yeah, I do 20 hours of cardio a week, but actually it doesn't make me lose weight. It actually just maintains me and gives me one heck of a giant appetite. And unfortunately, I think that is not necessarily a downside to cycling, but it is one of these situations where it does take, a long time to manage your weight in that respect. So, in my eyes, if you want to lose some weight, pick up a bike, go out, do some. But when you get to a point where you're cycling more and more, you're going to have to keep upping it all the time if you want to keep losing weight. Then eventually, you will hit maintenance, and your body will just get smart to what you're doing. And at that point, I'll probably recommend having a break, maybe taking some time off cycling, maybe try a new sport, grow some new muscles, and then come back to it later. But sometimes you just got to shock your body a bit. Like I've started doing a thing where I take a week's rest every so often, like a whole week off the bike of just doing absolutely nothing. And then when I come back to it, it makes me feel like I'm a lot more recovered, and it actually bumps that kind of weight loss if I need to again, which is a little bit crazy. So long term, it will eventually plateau weight loss in cycling. If you want my honest opinion, and I'm talking about someone that's been doing this for quite a long time, so that's kind of what I found. But other people might find different. But I'm one of these people that struggles to lose weight. I'm not very good at it. So how would I recommend losing weight? I think if you want to lose weight, and I'm talking about from a PT head here, not from a Robbie Ferry just ride more miles head. Like everyone will say to you, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit, and that is true. So you need to, obviously, calorie deficit means you need to eat less calories than you burn, and then you'll eventually lose weight. Great, easy. You don't really need me to do maths on that one. But what I will say is one thing, probably the easiest way for me to lose weight is I find strength training. So I go to the gym, do a lot of all body workouts and things like that. And honestly, that destroys it for me because I don't get this crazy appetite from strength training and doing weights. Genuinely, I just do them. I get bigger muscles, I recover, and I don't get this underlying hunger because cycling gives me an absolute underlying hunger. So if you were to lose weight, I probably wouldn't, I'd recommend cycling as a way to start. But if you're down the line where you're doing quite a lot of cycling and now you want to lose weight, I would recommend strength training instead, alongside your cycling. And that will lose you the weight because that will burn you a lot of calories. It will build you a lot of muscle and you'll have to go through a lot more recovery, which burns more calories, and you'll feel much, much better for it. And you'll lose weight really quick without having this nasty appetite from riding 20, 30 hours a week. So now if I want to lose weight cycling, I need to do some serious stuff. But my body knows that after a while, when it's in that much of a deficit, it'll just say, nah, Robbie, not giving you any more, mate. So literally since gym's opened, I've got straight onto strength training and already lost, I don't know, kilo, 2 kilo. So it's coming off really quickly. I've even taken up running as well. Crazy, multi-sport Robbie. That's the kind of thing. So guys, that was how I wanted to start the video. There's 7 of you watching here, guys. Ask me some questions. Let's get the chat on. All messages are visible. Yeah, Ian, I am well, mate. How are you? Yeah, I'm really well, actually, guys. Actually, it's been a bit of a tough week. Haven't really trained much. Do you know what? I'll tell you, yesterday I went out and I did a video about this because I was planning a route for what I call a speed run. If you haven't seen that video, it's yesterday's video. It's episode number 84. Do you know what? Brutal. Did the route, kept my heart rate like 140. Bear in mind, my max is 194. It took me about 3 hours. I was gone by the end of it. I was absolutely gone. Don't know why. I probably didn't eat enough. Probably didn't drink enough. Was quite warm. Did have a major headwind and pushed into it a bit much. But today, I got ready, got my Lycra on, got the bike out, went outside, realised it was really warm, and realised my legs were just still shot to pieces. And Saturday I was running. Friday and Thursday I was training on the bike as well, so I was due a rest day, but I had to take it a day early, which was a bit crazy. So that's all good. I'm kind of in the process of buying a house at the minute with my girlfriend. That's hard, honestly, guys, like mortgages, yeah, awful, absolutely awful, just in pandemic times, terrible, absolutely terrible. So yeah, so that's gone on. Back at work now. Picked up quite a lot of new clients. Actually, not kind of a lot of new clients. A lot of people returning, and then a few new ones, and they're really exciting. So my new clients, they're really cool goals. And I don't really talk about clients on my like kind of YouTube and stuff. I've got some absolutely incredible people, but I don't talk about them because obviously, it's very personal things, personal training, isn't it? So yeah, so for me, it's life is very good. The puppy is all good. Briney's all good. The weather's amazing. But I've noticed since COVID times, my life was a bit all over the shop before COVID. So I was working mornings, evenings, just trying to fit everything in. And now I came back with a set of rules for myself, like Rob, only work in the mornings. You're going to keep training there. If you need to afternoon nap each day, you're going to have to do a noon nap. And you're going to stop doing certain things. Like I'm not teaching any indoor cycling classes at the minute because obviously I work with some vulnerable people and I don't want to put myself in groups. Hence, another thing I'm not doing is riding with groups very much at the minute, or actually at all, because I don't want to put any risk to anyone that is vulnerable. But life is very good, guys. I'm very happy. I'm losing a bit of weight. And if I'm brutally honest, I'll say this to you all now. I'm really happy with everyone here. And YouTube's just going amazing. Like, I'm monetized, so thank you for watching the adverts before. It's, yeah, and I'm getting about 80p a day, which is, eventually that's going to pay for an adventure. It could pay for a second-hand bike that I could build up for someone to ride and give away. All these little things. So your 5 seconds at the start of these videos goes a long way. So, guys, anyway, I'm just seeing some questions coming in. There's 9 of you. Hope you're well. Give us a hello, guys. Give us a hello. Like, last Monday I did my live a bit early, so I missed a lot of you. I did miss you guys. I kind of feel like I haven't had this kind of engagement, let's say. Here we are. Where we at? Yeah, here you go. Pat, totally agree with you on this idea. Wife did Ironman Canada 2012, biking, running and swimming. After that, the body still craved it. Yeah, this is the problem, like, and I'll tell you guys straight away now, like, that your body is such an intelligent thing. It will adapt to so much. And I know this as a PT, because I actually go through a lot of different processes with clients, and I've done a lot of these processes myself, like gaining muscle, losing weight and all this. Your body is so smart. And if you give it 40 hours a week cycling, like I'll tell you this straight up now, it will eventually get used to it, and it'll store your food. And it will know how to manage your food better than you know how to. No matter how many good apps you've got, your body knows what it wants to do. And it won't be a case of, you can't just go, well, I'm going to definitely be in a deficit, so I'm not going to eat anymore, and I'm still going to go out and do my 3-hour training ride. Your body will be like, no, not giving you the energy because you put me in such a deficit yesterday that why should I do that to you now? You're just abusing me. You've got to treat your body with so much respect. Like, that's why if you talk to any good PT, they will not deficit you too much. Deficit being calorie deficit. So to lose weight, you need to have a calorie deficit. Some people, some PTs that I've heard of online, not necessarily in anywhere near me, will put people like 1,000 calories down a day. Come on, that's not sustainable. 500 max. My problem is, because I'll go out and do a 4, 5, 6 hour ride, and then when I come back, I'm like 2,500 calories down on the day. I have to eat really aggressively, which I don't like to do, because the next morning I don't want to wake up with a headache or feeling bad, and the next morning I don't want to wake up and be going out for another training ride and my body going, ha, not giving you no energy today, buddy. So that's the hard thing. Like the eating, like I find, your body will get used to it, and it will play you. It will change your way of thinking. It will make you feel like crap. It's a very intelligent, smart thing. Like, let's talk about going keto. Like if you were to go like high fat, low carb, your body does not want to do that. It does not. So when you go to being high fat, low carb, if you've tried it before, you'll know that you get these serious headaches, like, because your body's going, no, don't do this. Give me carbs, give me carbs, give me carbs. And it is aggressively being like that. Eventually it gives up and just goes, okay, gonna have to take it from fat. But it will do everything it can to stop you in your tracks. And that's nasty. That's nasty. That's a nasty feeling. Do you know, the more and more you try going keto, that the harder that feeling gets. It never gets used to it. Like, that's my problem now. I would consider going high fat, low carb, as an experiment. But it was so restrictive, probably wouldn't. But I couldn't do that process again of how you start. It's pretty torturous. But you can see how hot it is. You can see how much I'm sweating. 9 people here. Talk to me, guys. What are we up to? August challenge for Maggie's Cancer Centre is going fantastic. In 10 days now. Ian, tell me a little bit more about that so I can tell everyone on this live about it. I like that you said this was you. In my opinion, everyone's different. Yeah, everyone is, honestly, everyone's very different. Like, one thing I will say with this vlog, you have to take my opinion with a massive pinch of salt, okay? Like, honestly, like, everyone is different. Some people like cheese, some people like bread. That is just, that is just how it works. And I ride very differently to Neil rides very differently to me. It's a crazy world, and your body will react differently to things. Like, for example, strength training. Like, I've done a lot of strength training in probably the last 10 years. I've got quite muscular. I've got quite, I've gone very slender. And now my body knows how to make those transitions very quick. My muscle memory is very good. So literally, it is a very easy thing for me. So when I say I'm going to go to the gym, call the vets, these swans are looking sick, I can put on muscle really quickly, just because my body knows what it's doing. My diet is always full of protein, and I feel, I have never read a study about this, but I feel because of all the cycling I do, so I used to cycle 20 hours a week, but now because of my thyroid, I've gone down to about 8 to 10. So I've gone from 20 hours to 8 to 10, and I still feel as though my body is still pushing out quite a lot of testosterone. So there's me picking up weights and bang, straight away. Just grow muscle really, really quickly, which is it. Obviously, testosterone being the one I naturally produce. I've never done anything dodgy in my time, but that's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's good. That's good. Here we go. Cameron just got back from an evening ride with the boys. Bloody hot today. Now definitely enjoying my beer now. Cameron, mate, how are you? What beer you drinking, mate? That's the important question. It's too hot, man. I went out earlier and literally just KO'd. Realised my legs were too tired from training yesterday. I haven't had a beer in ages. Do you know what? I haven't had a drink in a very, very long time. Like, it's not because I drive or anything like that. I just generally, if I'm... I'm going to tell you this. I'm always honest about this. If I'm going to drink, I am going to drink. Like, no, I'm not going to have one. I have 10. You know what I mean? So that's my issue. You know what I mean? So yeah. So my issue is I really... When I do drink, I normally drink 3 times a year or 3 nights a year, and those nights I'll remember nothing, But it's me being honest, If I drink, I'll do it crazily, and then I'll write myself off for days, That's it. What's your background in building bikes? Did you self-learn? Sorry, I don't know your history. Yeah, yes and no. So I actually worked at a bike shop called Fat Birds, and it was on the Norfolk coast in the UK. And it was good. I was actually on sales, because I don't know why. Maybe I'm quite talkative, but I think it was because of obviously my background in what I do. So this was probably just after, I'd literally started a couple of years after I'd started doing bike packing. And yeah, it was good fun. I loved working in a bike shop. Not gonna lie, if it paid more and there was better prospects to have a career, then I probably would have stayed working in a bike shop. But the only way you can make a lot of money and working in a bike shop is owning a bike shop, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure how true that is, really, to be fair. So I was on sales there. I'm very friendly with the mechanics and just literally learnt a little bit from them. But the majority was self-taught. I literally, I had a bit of money come in, not from anything, it was a bit unfortunate how. But due to, well, it's a bit of a long story. I'll go into that another time. And literally... I just bought all my tools and I tried it, and I broke a lot of things in the process, a heck of a lot of things, but now I pretty much know everything. How to bleed brakes is a bit beyond me at the minute, but I have a bleed kit, and next time anything needs doing, I'm actually going to try and do it. Or actually what I probably will do is buy some brakes and then just try and bleed them myself. Just, wow, why not? So yeah, that could be fun. We'll see. But yeah, the majority of my background is I actually just learned myself, but I'm not one of these kind of people that... I'm a real funny person when it comes to building stuff. Like, I hate clicks, knocks. You buy the right thing, the right tool for the right job. I come from a very, very long line of engineers in my family. So I kind of have, I'd hope that I have quite a good engineering mindset. So I look at things very methodically, I think is the word. So I don't necessarily see so much of a situation, but I understand the process. And that's one thing why I feel very confident in bike packing, because I understand the process. So just need to keep the pedals turning. How do you do that? You need to eat enough, you need to drink enough, you need to sleep now, you need to do this. You know, I look at my bags, that should go in there, that should go in there. I'm quite methodical and I like things to be in the right place. You wouldn't guess that, judging by the state of my house right now, as we're going to move soon. But yeah, I'm very methodical. I like things to have their place and things like that. So it's crazy. Um, da, 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 da. So Ian, guys, I'm riding every day to raise money for Maggie's Cancer Centre. I've done 300 kilometres now, most I've ever done, and doing videos for YouTube. Guys, I would love you to follow Ian. He's got an awesome challenge. He is riding a lot, 300 kilometres and riding every day to raise money for Maggie's Cancer Centre. So I'd really like, guys, if you follow him. And he's a good bloke. Ian sent me a lot of nice messages. He's a legend. Sadly, it was carling. Oh yeah, I don't mind carling. That reminds me of that. How much of the fitness industry in Instagram and YouTube do you reckon is on gear? Interested to know from a PT's perspective. A lot. Like, I shouldn't say that, but a lot. Like, so let's kind of take the cyclist. So I think bike packing is a very, I'm going to say this, I might get some disagreements. I think bike packing is a very clean sport because I can't think of many things that actually would help you with bike packing. Even if you had like stuff like tramadol, like, which is an incredibly strong painkiller, it's going to make you woozy, it's going to make you worse. Although you're not going to feel pain, you're still going to ride and you're not going to make good decisions. So I think bike packing as a sport is very clean in my eyes, you know. And I know a lot of people that win these things, and I know their outlook, their perspective, and it would very highly surprise me if they were doing anything like that. From a PT's perspective, how many people are on like gear, like in the PT industry, in like bodybuilding? A lot. There's a lot of people on gear. It's kind of like so widely done, like, and you know, guys, like, I'll put this straight with you. You know, like for example, you can go into any gym and see the biggest bloke there, and you can probably tell there's little telltale signs about people on gear. And I come like from necessarily a very good fitness background. I'm surrounded by, you know, people that have worked years and years to get to the physique. But when you see someone like, I remember when I first started like training, I started training at the same time as another guy, and we used to go to this little gym. And I remember I was training more than him. I was training harder than him. My diet was better than him. But he just grew so fast, and it completely demoralized me, and it was horrible, like. And then I remember years on when I'd kept training and he'd fallen off the wagon and he'd put on a lot of weight, him turning around to me, he was like, man, I was on gear the whole time. And I was like, I knew it, man. Why weren't you honest with me? I thought I was doing something wrong and all this. And he had some nasty after effects from it. Like, he didn't do it properly, he abused it. There's a lot of people that do it. And what people have to understand is now there's a lot of things that are legal which are pretty close to like steroids and stuff like that. It's a natural thing. A lot of bodybuilders do it, and it's not necessarily about how you look, it's the feeling when you train and things like this. But I've never done it. I've never really done anything dodgy because I'm scared to. Like, I worry about my body. I haven't been a PT for like years and years and years, only probably a couple of years really, but I've been in this industry and doing this training a very, very long time, and I understand like why people would push it too much in a competitive way. Like, let's talk about cycling and bike packing. You'd be stupid to. You push your body so hard, like to try and boost it up to the next level. You're causing yourself some massive issues, you know. Cycling, and like, here's a good one. Same with pro cycling, like Cameron. Like, I know guys like that, you know, so open with me saying like, you know, I want to you know, try something, and I'm like, no, don't, like, because with cycling, there's a lot of nasty effects of this. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with, you know, performance enhancing drugs and things. I really don't, you know, like, it's just not something I'd recommend to anyone, because unfortunately I've seen the after effects in friends, and you know, like, and the mental health side of it is awful, man. Like, it's really quite bad. And just say you're a bodybuilder and you go to doing something absolutely, you know, you take it too far with, you know, steroid abuse and stuff like that. you're going to ruin your training for life, because you'll never enjoy it again. You'll be constantly worried about, when you stop. You're probably going to put on some weight. You're going to lose your muscle. You'll lose your buzz. Yeah, and same with pro cycling. Like, you see people that say, "Oh, I've tried it for," and you'll never cycle as well ever again. You'll never get to that enjoyment. And if you're going pass on, it's not because you worked for it. It's because you kind of not, you kind of cheated for that. So me, I don't agree with it at all. But not only that, like the health risks, like not being funny, like EPO, like, oh, your heart might stop in the night. Is being a few seconds quicker worth taking a risk like that? No, isn't it silly? But that's if you got my opinion. If it's winning a race, now you hear about like Cat 2s and Cat 1s doping, and you're like, come on, guys. Like, you know what I mean? You're not gonna get to that level by like doping. Like, I'm not being funny. You've probably got to be at 90% of your capacity and the best you could ever be, and then push yourself to that 100. You're gonna use something like that. Then you're gonna go pro, and then you're gonna get caught. There's no point. It's silly. It's a bad thing. Like, don't risk your health by riding a bike. Silly. Like, I have issues at the minute, like with thyroid. I don't have issues with drugs. I'm not doping, but for me personally, I have issues with thyroid. It means I cut my cycling down. I'm just glad I can still do that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of it. Hey, hello, Jiu-Jitsu Josh. How are you, mate? Tell me, how is the cycling going, my man? Have you tried crit race in the UK? I should do. Like, it's not really something I've got round. I've honestly always been quite scared to race, to be brutally honest with you. I don't know. I don't think I'll be very good at it. I think very good at the long distance stuff. I have pretty good FTP. Power to weight. I think I'm over 4 watts per kilo at the minute. I think I am anyway. But then again, I feel really strong at the minute because I'm training not 20 hours a week endurance, but I'm doing like 8 hours and a lot of high intensity. So I find that I feel really good. I'm resting a lot more. So I'm about 4 watts per kilo. So I reckon I can handle myself. You know what I mean? But we will see. But I think I would just get too scared to crit race. And I'd love to do, what is it, Red Hook crit, something like that. Do you know what? I'm actually looking for a TT bike at the minute to turn into like a crit bike or a track bike or something like that. But I just need something with the horizontal dropouts. But it's hard to find them. A lot of people want bikes at the minute. So like all the nice frames are going for silly money. And do you know what, guys? The trouble I've had, like trying to find an inch straight fork. Oh my days. Like, honestly, here's some really good advice from me to you. If you're going to buy a frame to fix up and do up, and it's got an inch headset, don't buy it. Like, I'm looking at forks that are going on eBay, and they're going for like £100. Just for like a basic set of carbon forks. £100. Basic set of carbon forks. Just because they're an inch, the frame cost me 30 quid. It's silly. I'm going to have to sell the frame. And then someone who's already got the forks will probably end up buying it. Yeah, soul destroyed. Soul absolutely destroyed on it. But anyway, so I want to spray this bike and I can't, because I'll be honest, if I spray it, then I'll be all motivated and I'll end up spending silly money on forks, and I've kind of had to pay an absolute fortune over some stuff with moving at the minute in houses and deposits and all that, so it's been a bit crazy. So I can't say I have much money at the minute either, to be brutally honest with you. Jiu-Jitsu Josh, 5 days consecutive cycling now. Legs are sore. How many miles, mate? Talk mileage to me. 5 days consecutive cycling. They're going to be sore. Don't forget to rest. Rest is super important, and like rest all the time. I rest 2-3 days a week at the minute. It's amazing. But I have taken up running, and I am doing a lot of strength training at the minute. Hence, I'm losing a bit of weight, which is good. So guys, ask me some questions. I've got 9 people on. I've been on for about half an hour. I'm melting because of this, like, I think it's a studio light. It's actually my girlfriend's makeup light. There you go. There's some honesty coming through. But it is making me sweat quite terribly, which is not ideal. So yeah, averaging 30-40 miles a day. That is really good going, mate. You should be really pleased with that, man. How long to go before you go to Europe, man? Talk business to me. What is everyone else up to anyway, guys? Give us a like. Let me know you're liking this. I do babble on a lot. It's been about half an hour. I can't remember what I talked about. I think it was weight loss to start with, wasn't it? But ask me some questions. Just under a month. See, man, it'll come in time. The legs will be good. Make sure you rest, that kind of thing. We're into double figures, guys. Got 10 people. So fire away. Bike packing 101 questions. Let me know. Give us a like. Drop us a comment. And tell me if you think I look like I'm really warm. Oh, do you want to see this? I bought this the other day. So, you know Francis Cade? Great YouTuber. Absolutely amazing. He had one of these. And it was like, I don't know what it is, but you put a GoPro in the air. You do this. So you can ride along with a GoPro in the front. Really cool. Really like it. So you can ride with this on and you add a GoPro to the end. What I do is, I can't show you because it's holding my phone up. Literally, I actually have an adapter. I put my phone in it and I ride like this with my phone. It looks really cool. But I found this one's really cheap. So you can see here. I'm going to show you. It's really flimsy there. So I actually have to end up putting my teeth down onto this bit. Bit uncomfortable on my teeth. Kind of wish I bought the one Francis was recommending for £30 instead of this one, which was £8. Yeah, because it's got a giant cable tie on. Screams quality to me. Actually, it doesn't, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, and I like to say, yeah, it's good. So anyway, far away, guys. Questions. Yeah, the GoPro mount's pretty cool, actually. But I use my phone for everything. You know, like literally. Hello, James. Literally, I use my phone for everything. So, it's just one of them things, like I buy adapters for phone. My phone gives amazing quality and it's so easy to edit. Like my edits take me 20 minutes. That's it. Like I won't spend any more. Hello, Sean. How are you, mate? Are you riding tomorrow night? Are you riding with Valouz? Is it Valouz? I always pronounce it wrong. Talk to me, mate. Talk to me. So yeah, any tips, Jiu-Jitsu Dosh? Honestly, mate, if I could give you some good tips, mate, I would probably recommend maybe riding a little bit less, but I'd actually rest more and ride longer on some of the other days. So ramp it up to 50 on the others, but you know, take some rest days, man. Like rest days are super important. Keep an eye on your calories, you know what I mean? Hello, James. How are you, mate? Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm feeling good at the minute. I've lost a bit of weight, put on a bit of muscle, so I feel really good. Feel like I'm getting quite lean towards the end of summer, you know. But hey, with this hair, I'm not gonna look great on a beach anyway. Let's be fair. Yeah, Ian. Honestly, I think the phone's the way forward, mate, for vlogging and stuff like that now. So easy editing. Awesome, Sean. Ready to smash it, mate. That's the important thing. I will come and join you guys soon. Like eventually. I'm just kind of letting this COVID thing die down a little bit more. So talk to me, guys. What are we all up to tonight? Like, did you get much riding in over the weekend? That's the important thing. If you're in the UK right now, in Norfolk, it's really hot. Like, really uncomfortably hot all the time. I'm on my 4th t-shirt today. 4th t-shirt. And that's annoying because it just gets quite hot in my gym. So I'm changing. You know, poor me, like, I've been blown across, like, the room with deodorant all the time. Which is crazy. So yeah, so it's good. So I can't wait after this live, get in the shower and have a nice chill out in bed. You know what I mean? Just come off Zwift, man. Tell me, how far did you go? What route? You know what I mean? Went and how to get the Wolverton full loop. Yes, sure. So if anyone watched my vlog late last week, I just decided that I wanted the local legend status for Wolverton. So I haven't really explained much about Wolverton to you guys. 10th. Nice action, mate. So I am going to make a video when it cools down. I want to take the Wolverton Com because I know it's possible for me. So I did it last time. I'm going to talk to you about it. So let me explain Wolverton. So Sandringham, let's talk about the royal family. Sandringham is like the summer home of the royal family. And I live like 6 miles away from it. It's beautiful riding. It's very quiet, you know. Sometimes on Saturdays and Sundays it can get a little bit crazy, but if you go early, it's beautiful. Lovely little village just off the side called Wolverton, with a lovely little ring loop round, about 2.5 miles long, and it's gorgeous, beautiful. I go there pretty much every ride. And then I found out I wasn't the local legend. Like, that's the only place I would have put myself 100% down as local legend. But I'm sure I've been there more than anyone else. But I just go like a different route to most people. So where it's like you can cross it as a figure of 8, I've been doing it very differently to everyone else. So I went back and I just rode it again in everyone else's loops to become the local legend. So yeah, that was fun. And I noticed that the com was tough. Like, it's hard com. Like, so I looked at it and thought, I could get that com. And I literally tried it on my gravel bike with 40C tyres on. Literally not drafting anyone, just smashed it out on my own. Conditions probably weren't perfect. It was like 30 degrees heat. And this is like a 7 or 8 minute com, and I was 40 seconds off. So how are we going to save 40 seconds? Easy. Go when it's cooler. So that'll be the first one. That could be 10 seconds worth. Next thing, 40C tyres. Not ideal. So I'll go back on 30C tyres, more road tyres, because there's no gravel down there. I just like riding gravel tyres, and they look so much more badass on my bike. So I'll go down there, save weight on the tyres. Next thing, when I started it, I'd literally gone, looped around in the road, and then come back onto it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come from the actual main road and swing in. So instead of starting at 0 miles an hour, I will literally be going up to, I'll be coming in at 20, 22, 23 miles an hour, Yeah, so literally, so the start, I need to be at full gas when I'm going, so like 23 miles an hour, instead of turning around and doing a route instead. Secondly, tyres. What I'll probably do is chuck my frame bag in a bush, so it saves a bit more weight, so I'm not carrying anything for the climbs back upwards. And then I'll pick it up on the way back, so I'll lighten my bike a little bit more like that. If I was really serious about it, I would ask to draft someone, so I'd find someone fairly quick, and I'd hide behind them, but I'd like to do comms on myself, to be brutally honest, so I don't know if the guys before me did, but I kind of feel like I would like it in, 40 seconds is doable. And on top of that, last time I did it, I know there was more in the tank, but I knew I had like another 5 loops of Wolverton to do. And yes, a tailwind would be absolutely amazing as well. So all these things are going to really help with comms. Like, I think the majority of comms are gettable. They really are. Like, even for the average person, you just got to plan it right. You got to, get everything right, and just everything else will be there. Few watts by trimming your locks. I couldn't do it, like I've had this hair for like years now, and I just couldn't change it really. Like I used to have short hair all the time. Actually, I used to have Mohican. I honestly used to look like, it used to be like, not a crazy one like that. I was like, hi guys, how you doing? I was a bit nuts. I looked like kind of a half punk rocker. I used to get my hair cut every week. Then I just decided, because I had really bad luck with barbers, because they were all just crap, the ones I was going to, and weren't listening to what I wanted. So I just stopped getting haircuts. And then I started going back and getting haircuts, and I went to proper hairdressers. So yeah, that's it. So that's kind of the, that was the plan. So, and then I just never went back. But I do have a lady who cuts my hair. She's amazing. So absolutely lovely, bless her. And she's the only person I'll go to. Okay. So, wait for a tailwind. Yes. I did it on Sunday, and that was just finishing off, especially after how did the FTP test go, Sean? Do tell. Let me know about your FTP test. Only jealous because I'm balding. No, honestly, you can have some if you want some. It's awful in hot weather having long hair. And it's, like, honestly, guys, when you see, like, so I'm going to say this now. 99.7% of my YouTube following and YouTube views come from blokes. Yeah, 0.3% is women. Interesting fact. So, the majority of people listening to this are probably blokes, and I can put money on that. Next thing, so if you think your missus spent a lot of time doing the hair, man, hair takes a lot of time. It's crazy. Like, honestly, to look after it properly, crazy. Mine stinks, because I do so much cycling. If I wash it all the time, it goes really like afro-y. Yeah, it's nightmare. Long hair and cycling, but it's cool. So yeah, thank you, Cameron. I really enjoy these lives, mate. Just to sit and chat for a while. Any suggestions for pannier bags? Jiu-Jitsu Josh, mate, honestly, like, really, if you want my honest opinion, I'm not a big fan of pannier bags. Like, they'll really slow you down, man. Like, they're not amazing. Yeah, they're good for storage and stuff, but if you just pack efficiently, you can get away with bike packing stuff so much better. If that was me, I'd personally just get a really big frame bag, a really big tail pack on the back, and then a big roll bag. You'll get more in those 3 than your panniers. It'll look cooler, be more aerodynamic. You'll have much more fun, and you'll enjoy the riding more. Like, honestly, like, I'm not a big pannier fan. Like, I've never used panniers. They just do my head in. Like, I know I shouldn't say that. Like, that's just me talking from my opinion. But I just, I've ridden some customers' bikes around the bike shop with panniers on. Never seen the love for panniers. Honestly, if that was me and I was going away, even if I was like, do you know Josh Ibbott just won GB Duro? His round the world setup. You know what I mean? Like, he went, when he was riding around the world. Honestly, just tail pack, big frame bag, roll bag, a couple of feed pouches, boom, nailed it. Really did well with that. What a great setup. But yeah, I wouldn't, panniers will slow you down so, so much. Unless you're planning on going really slow everywhere and taking in, going through vineyards and fine wines and nice and slow, then yeah, if you're stopping and not going far each day, but if you're trying to rack up some miles, you gotta stay aero. Like, really, like, gotta stay aero and comfortable. And it just distributes, I think, bike packing bags distribute weight much better than most other things. You know what I mean? Staying light is everything, man. But at any time, man, like, if you get stuck for bags, Josh, you're not far from me, mate. Like, just give us a shout. I'll lend you some bags for your trip, because they can be expensive, man. I'd rather see you have a bit more money and enjoy your trip and just borrow some bags off me instead. You know what I mean? Because I've got some spares. It's not a problem. I'm not allowed to talk about what brand they are, but they were the ones that I used a couple of seasons ago. So yeah. Anyway, where we at, guys? Where we at? 279, Sean. Your FTP. Amazing, man. How did it feel? Absolutely awful, didn't it? 279. That's good, man, because you haven't been cycling long. That's a really impressive one. Really, really impressive. You do it on Zwift, mate. Did you do like the 45-minute short FTP test? That's nasty. I love doing it though, but I get like 2 minutes into the 20-minute block and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? Why did I pick this? And I always normally go in too strong. You know what I mean? Cameron, what signs of Milestone should I aim for as a beginner road cyclist? Only got in cycling properly this year. I can get to 90-mile average on 20-mile routes by myself. What should I aim for next? Honestly, Cameron, 19-mile average is high. Like, I've been riding a long, long time, 7 years, and riding a lot, like a lot of miles. And I still nowhere near 19. And you will find, a really good bit of advice is going hard isn't always, making you fitter necessarily. Yeah, you'll get quick. But if I were you, even I went out for 3 hours the other day and I averaged nearly 18 and a half. And when I got home, I was destroyed. I was just tired. Fair enough, I was on quite a heavy setup. But honestly, if I were you, mate, milestone-wise, I'd start looking at distance, man. If you're averaging 19, you could drop that to 16, 17, man, and smash out some absolutely evil miles. Even if cyclists come past you at speed, who cares, man? If I were you, I'd start going for some distance milestones. Or if you wanted to go down the speed route and you really enjoyed keeping the average high, honestly, do some old school TT. So old school TT means you do it on a road bike instead. It's cheap, it's good, it's efficient. I think full-blown TT is expensive. I'd love to do full-blown TT, but I just can't afford the bike. I keep looking at my dream bike. I used to actually own my dream bike, and I sold it. And I wish I'd never done that. That's probably a big regret, but it was the wrong size for me, so I probably will get another one. It's a Fuji Norcom. You should look them up. They look gorgeous. I will see if actually I can put a picture into here. No, I can't. But yeah, it's gorgeous. The most gorgeous looking bike I've ever owned. I have mine customly sprayed and everything. So yeah, so I would literally, if you're going to go fast, go down the old school TT route. And if you like old school TT, then go full TT. Honestly, the 50 miler, like you just said then, enjoy the 50 mile did. Honestly, mate, big miles are big smiles. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. You will love it. You will absolutely love it. Right, okay. Alright, can't wait till I can have 90-mile average speed. I know, Anthony. Honestly, 19's a lot to hold. Honestly, I think if you really want good data, get a heart rate monitor. That'll help you so much. My training's changed drastically since I've had a heart rate monitor. Because I know where I can sit and where I can go. And I know where if I feel like crap, I know why. Because I can look at my average heart rates. Yeah, really, really handy things to have. Heart rate monitors. If I had to pick between a power meter and a heart rate monitor, I'd probably go heart rate monitor, brutally honest. And plus, they're I don't know, 1/10 of the cost as well. And I'm cheap. I talk a lot about money and how tight I am. That's terrible, isn't it? Okay, right. What are your thoughts on bike fit as well? Are they needed? Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I'm gonna talk this through now. There's a lot of people that won't agree with me on this one, but there's a lot of people that will. I will always recommend bike fits. I will always recommend bike fits. So bike fits are amazing. They get you in the right place. If you're going to get a bike fit, get a good bike fit. Like, go to someone who really knows their stuff. Don't get £50 ones. Get at least £150, £200 one. Like, not even joking. Like, a £50 one, they'll put you on a turbo. They'll sit there. Yeah, you look about right. You look about right. There's 3 things I'm going to teach you guys. I'll be so honest here, yeah. Don't trust a cheap bike fit. Don't trust a mechanic that doesn't use a torque wrench. And, like, I shouldn't say this, nothing against local bike stops, but, like, the only work you can ever guarantee on your bike is work you do yourself. But anyway, back to bike fits. But, like, I shouldn't say that. But anyway, back to bike fits. Honestly, I've had some cheeky ones, like, when I say cheeky ones, some cheap ones, where people look at me, yeah, you look about right, yeah, that's it. Then I use a lot of YouTube videos, thereabouts, kind of. Then I started racing. I kind of was very uncomfortable, and there's a lot of changes. If I could go back and talk to Robbie 3 or 4 years ago, there's a lot of changes I'd tell him to do. But as far as professional, good, proper bike fits, I've never had one. You know, I've never had one. I've literally done it the hard way, had some crappy little bike fits, which looking back were pretty damn terrible, you know, and honestly, I would personally go and get a good bike fit. But if you're like me and you've just ridden the same uncomfortable position so long that it's become comfortable, it's questionable if you do that. But you will save yourself money on getting the bike fit. Because like me, I've been through like shed loads of stems. I've used different bikes. You know, I've had to make some pretty ugly contraptions to get into this uncomfortable position, which I thought was right, which it wasn't. But now my issue is, if someone puts my saddle into probably a better position for me, it doesn't necessarily feel better for me because I'm so used to this awkward position because I never had a proper bike fit. I do get knee problems, but then again, I've done big races like, I don't know, 3,000k races, and literally my knees haven't given me any jib. But then other times people say, well, you know, you could use your saddle a bit lower, a bit higher. So I'm questioning, like, if my knees aren't hurting on a 2,000k race, but a bike fit is telling me it's got to be a different height. All I'll say is Mark Beaumont said some really good things about bike fits in his book about going around the world in 80 days. So he went to, someone please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong on this. He went to a bike fitter a few months before and they said, oh, you're inefficient here. You know, big professional one. And he came away feeling quite deflated, if I'm correct. And he actually said, like, I know I can ride a bike. There's certain changes I don't want to make that I was told to, and I didn't. So sometimes, like, I think if you're new to cycling, have a bike fit, man. Definitely, just get in the right place straight away. Because if not, you've got a very painful journey in getting close. And then you've got a very painful adaptation in adapting to the closeness there. And you'll never get it right. If you get the right bike fit, like, the key is get a good bike fit and then it'll help you pick the bikes that are going to suit you. Like, I know people that buy silly expensive bikes that just don't fit them because they're too aggressive and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely bike fits are everything, you know. But I would say they're needed, yes, for a new cyclist. But for someone like me who's a bit of an old dog now, yes, I could probably get away with not having one, but I will go and get a proper one for the week record. But even so, like, even if I was to do the week record, I think I'm in a fairly good place now. Not gonna lie, I feel super comfortable on my bike. It really works for me, and genuinely, I know I can ride, you know, some crazy days on it already. So I question whether I should get a bike fit because I feel as though I'm in a pretty good position already. But then again, it would be good to get a second opinion on some things I could change. So yeah, I'd recommend that. But yeah, again, I haven't really got, you know, £400 to spend on bike fit right now, you know. unfortunately, although, you know, there's just more important things in life I need right now, and especially when I'm in the transition of buying a house, it's a bit difficult to throw £300 away at a bike fit when I don't really need it till early next season. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. So yeah, bike fits are great, but I want to be honest with you and say, like, I haven't really had a proper one yet. So that's it. So yeah, what else we got? Did it on the road after a 3.35 minute and 8 minute all out effort. You did an 8 minute all out effort as well. Sean, you animal, mate. You absolute animal. So, guys, fire some questions. I'm going to head off in about 10 minutes and then just go from there. I'm, you know, really want a shower and to get into bed. And I'm not actually that tired today. I'm feeling a little bit better. This thyroid thing's clearing up a bit. I'm on a rest day today. Well, I say a rest day. Even on my rest days, I do some strength training in the gym. But rest day from cycling and running. But I might do some running and cycling tomorrow. Depends on how I feel. Depends on the weather. It's just so humid at the minute. It's not even the heat. It's just so humid. Living on the coast, you go out, like, honestly, you know, you've written yourself off if you don't wear sunglasses at the minute in Norfolk because there's just bugs everywhere. Seems like the heat and the humidity brings them out of the bushes and they're like, they just jump at you. Scary little things. They get behind your glasses and everything. Like, I wouldn't want to, like, have the midges in Scotland and stuff. A friend of mine's up there at the minute and put a video on Facebook of them and I was like, hey, that's crazy. So yeah, fire some questions at me, guys. I'm literally here for 10 more minutes. Ask me anything about bike packing, anything about life. I don't think I can give you much good advice on buying houses, but I can try. So yeah, that's good. And thank you again, guys, for like taking the time to watch my videos on the channel. You know, the channel's going well. Like I said, now I'm monetized and I'm getting a little bit, 80p a day. You know, yeah, mate, like the worst. Do you know what, guys? Like me and my missus, like someone said to us, buying a house is lovely for a couple. You know, you get to move in, you get to do all these lovely things. No, it's so, honestly, opposite. It's so stressful. So I got told 3 things that are super stressful in life. Buying a house and moving, obviously. Divorce and death. 3 most stressful things. Do you know what? Buying a house, yeah, super stressful. Do you know what? I'm just going to live in that house forever. I've decided. Told my missus, never moving again. Selling a house is worse. That does not surprise me one bit, you know. But, you know, scary thing is we're at the start of the chain, so it was even easier for us. First time buyers, start the chain. Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting the YouTube. It's making 80p a day at the minute, 80p. So if you're in the US, it's about $1 a day. And eventually, I'm actually saving that up to do a bit of a bike packing trip in probably about a month. Because I'm sure we can do a budget £50 bike packing trip. That'd be cool. But yeah, again, still waiting for this whole COVID thing to die down a bit. I'm still not really, I'm not cycling in groups at the minute. I'm going out with some friends and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's kind of, so I'm going out, but just in very small groups, maybe 1 or 2 people. But yeah, hit me up. Sean, we saw before COVID and the bike pulled out, mate, sorry to hear, man. We've had like no end of trouble with ours. It's been awful. Like, honestly, like, you know, we literally had all of it done. It was about to go through and then COVID hit, lockdown, and then it all changed because they said our industries, me being a personal trainer, my partner owning her own salon, and she's a makeup artist as well. You know, yeah, they were just absolutely, they were. I'm not allowed to swear because I don't know why. Yeah, they were horrible to us about it. They really put us in some awful situations. This isn't the solicitor. This isn't my mortgage advisor. This was the bank lending us the mortgage, you know. But I get it. It's a lot of money, you know. But God, we're putting so much, like, we're putting a lot down. So, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy. Sorry to hear, man, the bike pulled out in May. That's awful. It's a nightmare, isn't it? Cameron, not so good, man. Like, the Patreon stuff's hard. I put a couple of videos on. Got one Patreon. He's still here. I've actually messaged him a bit. And gonna be putting some more stuff up there. But it's really tough, you know, like, now I'm back at work and stuff. Finding the time to do really long videos is very few and far between. And yeah, I just kind of getting back to life. I think the whole issue with my thyroid and having to stop racing, you know, for a while, and, you know, like the week record going down the pan, it really knocked me for 6. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, like, I'm honest about everything. Although I come across so invigorated and so happy on some of these videos. Like that, not being able to do that week record was an absolute punch in the face. It really was. Like I'd trained for so long, so hard for that, and it wasn't the fact, it was just like, oh, can't do it, click. It was this progression of just feeling so poorly and going out training for 6 hours and then just getting home, having a bath and just being destroyed for the rest of the day. It was awful, like, and going out and trying to ride like 12 hours and just being destroyed after 6 and feeling like you're suffering, and then like looking on Strava and there's other people like that you kind of always thought you were a bit more capable of, and I shouldn't say this is nasty, you always thought you're more capable of, that you're trained a lot harder than, just doing stuff and saying, oh, it's pretty easy, you know what I mean, good, and then finding out that it was actually something inside which was the problem, not something that was fixable from the outside. It just really beat me up, not gonna lie. So I've been kind of a little bit down about that, but at the end of the day, like, I'm very lucky. I'm a very lucky person. I've got amazing people in my life. I've got amazing things. And I said this to a very good friend of mine. He said, if the cycling, he goes, you're lucky, like that, you know, you've had the experience you are. And I said, yes, I am. If the cycling stopped now, like I could never ride a bike again, I'd be very happy with the adventures I've had, everything I've achieved. And yeah, I think there's not much I'd change about it. It's been a really fun journey. But that isn't the case. You know, I'm still lucky to carry on, and I've just got to take a little bit of time out. But everything happens for a reason, and we all have to understand why these things happen, and things might not go your way. And do you know what? Like, I said this to someone earlier, like, lockdown was very tough on a lot of people. It wasn't tough on me. I got to train a lot. I found out I had an underlying health problem. I got to have a bit of time off. I've come back to work with a lot better schedule and really fresh and decent, you know. So, you know, lockdown was actually, I wouldn't wish lockdown and COVID anywhere, but, you know, like I made the most of the time that I had spare, and here I am now, and the week record will be done next year, you know. If I can't cycle, it's jiu-jitsu instead. Yes, honestly, I've always wanted to try that. I work in a predominantly what started as a boxing gym, and they still do predominantly a lot of boxing. And I want to start boxing, actually. Like, not gonna lie. I don't think there's a market for endurance boxing. If there was, I'd give it a go. Genuinely don't like to be punched in the face, but love the idea of their training. And boxers, like, you can get lean as heck boxing. So yeah, I wouldn't mind giving boxing a go. That's kind of on the agenda for late next year. We will see. But yeah, and just kind of seeing what life brings my way at the minute. Like I say, doing a lot of strength training. Gonna kind of try and sort out my tan lines. That's another thing that I need to deal with. I used to teach MMA and Jiu-Jitsu sessions at Old Heroes. No way, did you really? Oh god. No way. At Old Heroes. Nice. Yeah, New Heroes is awesome, man. Mate, you should come down to New Heroes. Heroes is the gym I work at. You should come down to New Heroes, man. It's awesome. Like, everyone's really cool there. Space is awesome. Hardwick. I never actually went to the Hardwick Heroes, which was crazy. This was kind of like before they moved into the bigger premises. I only knew it from the bigger premises, you know. Yeah, it's crazy. Still train with the guys on Sunday. No way. Small world, Josh. Small world. I actually nearly came on Sunday one day. But Sunday's the only day that I actually don't have to be at the gym for anything. So I tend to just avoid it. Like, not in a nasty way. I love going to the gym. I love my job. But I love it, and I'm able to, like, you know, spend a lot of time at that gym in the week, because Sundays I just kind of have my cycling and chill day. But Josh, man, need to let me know, you know, like when you're free for a spin. That'll be it. So guys, I'm going to be on for about another minute or two. Let me know what's happening. I love doing these lives. Tell me about what you want to see, like, in the future from me, that kind of thing. And we'll get it up on the older YouTube. You know, I'm going to want to go and do some riding, you know, over the next couple of nights, do some more local legends, you know. Thank you. Oh, yes, James, we will catch up on Zwift. Thank you very much for being here and listening, mate. Really enjoy it. I really appreciate this all, guys. Like, it's, you know, I'm not, you know, I really enjoy the time the YouTube takes. And I must admit, I get really kind of, it fills me with passion ideas with my cycling when I sit there thinking, you know, like, what video can I make and all this. So yeah, it's very exciting. But thank you very much, James. Yeah, so in 20 seconds I'm going to head off, guys. I want to say a big, massive thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. It has been quite the journey to get monetized. We are now, so we can start putting that money back into going doing some bike packing and stuff like that. Josh, mate, anytime, ask me whatever you need to know. Like, that's what I'm here for, you know, like. And yeah, guys, like, just stay cool. There's going to be some more interesting stuff happening soon. I'll be honest, I would love to be going and doing some absolutely crazy rides, but kind of going through this thyroid problem, which I still haven't got my results back yet for. And buying a house and moving is just a little bit taking over, really. But we're still getting daily videos out. That's the important thing. And yeah, when that's all settled down, we'll go do some crazy stuff. And it's a little bit too hot at the minute, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit too hot at the minute. So yeah, I'll just quickly check the comments before I go. Proper video on talking about heart rate zones would be good. Yes, actually, I'd love to do that, actually, because a lot of that comes into, like, running as well and stuff like that. So yeah, right, guys, make sure you give us a like. You know, give us a like. Really enjoy doing these. I should buy a bike computer heart rate monitor to get with, just using them for the iPhone. Do you know what, Anthony, mate? Honestly, crazy enough, iPhones are great. I actually really enjoy my iPhone, and before I didn't use a heart rate monitor for a long time, but Apple Watches, like, you can get, this is a Series 1. This costs like 70 quid, yeah, and this, I use this for loads of my heart rate stuff. Just chuck it on, and you can see, like, your zones and stuff. You can link it with your Strava. Honestly, like, really good bit of kit. Like, if you want something that's very cool, very accessible, that you can use for running, you know, kind of cycling, that kind of thing, yeah, really good bit of kit, really good for your heart rate. The heart rate monitor on Apple Watch is very accurate. You know, I've put it up against a proper Garmin one, and yeah, that is, you know, pretty much like for like. It's really impressive. And if you're using Zwift on your phone, you can link it with the Apple Watch and stuff like that. It's cool. It's cool. There's a lot of good things. But then again, I'm a little bit off the spectrum. I think some of these things, like, you know, some of these like turbo trainers and stuff are crazy money. So I'm always like trying to look for the cheaper alternatives, to be brutally honest. Anyway, guys, I am melting, and I'm gonna have to go and put another t-shirt on after this because I'm just absolutely sweating. I wanted to put a fan on, but it would have been too noisy for the video. Thank you for taking the time, guys, to listen. Let me know, tell me what you think. Anything you want me to do, let me know, like video wise. And yeah, stay cool, guys, and don't get too hot, you know, ride good, enjoy the miles, be safe, and see you later. Thank you very much for